I wasn't snooping, I swear WS. It started with the laundry, something as simple and mundane as folding freshly dried towels and putting away his gym clothes. It was Sunday afternoon, the kind of day that smells like detergent and leftovers. The kind of day where everything feels too normal to expect chaos. The house was quiet, with sunlight slanting through the curtains and the faint hum of the dryer in the background. Our golden retriever Milo was curled up on the couch like always. Everything looked the same, sounded the same, felt the same, until it didn't. I reached into the pocket of his joggers. The gray ones he always wears on Saturdays, the ones that are practically fused to his skin on weekends. I wasn't expecting anything. Maybe a crumpled receipt, maybe his earphones. But instead, I felt plastic. Not his usual phone. That one was already charging on his nightstand. No, this one was thinner, lighter, older. I pulled it out, my fingers, tightening around it as confusion set in. A phone, a second phone. Black, no case, no lock screen image, just blank, plain, unremarkable. But suddenly it felt like a grenade in my hand. My heart stuttered. I blinked once, twice, and stared. At it as if it might explain itself. Why the hell would Nathan have a second phone? He never mentioned it. In all the 10 years we've been married, through moving houses, planning vacations, syncing calendars, paying bills, not once had he said anything about another number, another device. My throat dried. I held it for a few moments longer, feeling its weight. Wondering if this was one of those moments that split life into two pieces, before and after. Curiosity warred with dread. I wanted to put it back and pretend I hadn't seen it. I wanted to tell myself there must be a reasonable explanation. Work, maybe. But Nathan's job in marketing didn't exactly call for burner phones. Still, I wasn't going to jump to conclusions. I sat on the edge of the bed, the phone in my lap, and debated for a full 5 minutes whether I should turn it on. When I finally did, I told myself, it's just a phone. Just a stupid phone. But what stared back at me wasn't stupid. It was a lock screen with no code. Unlocked. Open. Like it was waiting for me. The wallpaper was blank black. The home screen was clean only. A few apps. No games. No emails. Bank apps. Just messages. A gallery, WhatsApp, and the call log. I didn't even hesitate. I tapped on the messages first. That's when the ground began to crack beneath my feet. There were no names, just numbers. But one number showed up over and over. The messages were recent, intimate, dripping with familiarity and innuendo. I miss your hands last night was, wow, I still smell you.
Oh.
Can we meet again before the weekend? She won't suspect anything, right? That word. That single 3-letter word punched a hole straight through my chest. I. Was the she? I couldn't breathe. My hands trembled as I scrolled, scanning, skimming. My eyes darting across the screen as though the quicker I read, the faster this nightmare would end. Did it? It only got worse. Photos, selfies, of her half naked, in his t-shirt, on our bed. Our damn bed. Videos. Audio messages, her giggling, whispering, I love you. With the kind of softness I thought was reserved for me, I dropped the phone. It clattered against the hardwood floor. I just stared at it like it was some alien object from a world I didn't recognize anymore. My heart was a jackhammer. My skin flushed hot, then cold. I thought I might vomit, or scream, or combust entirely. Was I crazy? Is this some elaborate prank? But no, I knew that laugh. I knew his bedroom walls, his sheets, his watch lying on the dresser in the background. Of one of the photos that was our home, my marriage, I heard the front door open. Nathan was back from the grocery run. I froze. My fingers instinctively grabbed the phone and slid it under the pile of folded clothes. I don't know why. Maybe I wasn't ready to confront him. Maybe I was scared that once the words came out, they'd never go back in. Hey babe, he called out cheerfully, rustling plastic bags. I didn't respond. My mouth wouldn't move. My legs wouldn't stand. He came into the bedroom holding a carton of milk and a loaf of bread, like everything was fine, like the world hadn't just tilted on its axis. You okay? He asked, brow furrowing. I forced a smile so brittle I could feel it cracking on my lips. Yeah, just tired. He leaned in and kissed my forehead. I flinched. He didn't notice. I sat through dinner that night in a haze, the phone still hidden under the laundry in our room. He talked about his day, the stupid thing his coworker said, the movie he wanted to watch later. I nodded and smiled and laughed in the right places. Like a robot. All the while, my brain screamed. Liar, cheater, stranger. That night, I waited until he was asleep, his breath slow and even. His arm draped over my waist like a sick joke. I slipped out of bed, heart pounding in my throat, and took the phone into the bathroom. I sat on the cold tile floor and opened WhatsApp. More messages. Her name finally showed up there. Alina, of course. She had a damn kiss emoji next to her name. Their chats were a journal of betrayal, plans, confessions, complaints about me, how I'd gotten boring, how I'd nagged too much, how I don't understand him anymore. The worst part. He said he felt alive with her. I wanted to scream, to smash the phone, to wake him up and slap the truth across his smug, sleeping face, but I didn't. I cried. Silent tears that rolled down my cheeks and soaked into my t-shirt. My sobs were quiet, strangled. It's like I was trying to keep them from waking the ghosts of the life I thought I had, because that's what it felt like. My marriage had died, and I was mourning it alone. I don't remember how long I sat there. At some point, my legs went numb. I stared at myself in the mirror, red-eyed and hollow. Didn't recognize the woman looking back. How long had this been going on? How many times had he looked me in the eye and lied, kissed me goodnight and texted her right after? Made love to me and called her the next day? Every memory suddenly felt tainted. Every happy moment had an ugly shadow behind it. My anniversary? They had lunch together the day before. My birthday? They sent her flowers the next morning. The weekend? He said he was working late. He spent it in a hotel with her. I wanted answers. But more than that, I wanted to unknow what I now knew. By sunrise, I had a plan. I wouldn't confront him yet. I needed proof. I needed to think. Because this wasn't just some fling. This was a whole other life he was living behind my back, and I wasn't going to let him walk away without consequences. I spent the next few days in a state of controlled collapse. Every smile I gave Nathan felt like a lie. Every meal I cooked, every kiss I accepted, every nod and during his meaningless stories, it all felt like I was wearing someone else's skin. But I needed time. I needed silence. And I needed him to believe I hadn't found out. Because if I was going to shatter this perfect little illusion he'd built, I wanted to do it right, so I became an actress. I laughed when I had too touched. His shoulder when it felt appropriate, and asked him about work like I actually cared. He didn't suspect a thing. That somehow hurt even more. How easy it was for him to go on like nothing had happened. Like I was nothing but a character in the script of his convenient life. He still kissed me goodbye in the mornings, still texted me during lunch breaks, still brought me flowers just because on Thursday, and that same night, texted her. I miss your mouth. You taste like summer. She was wearing that ugly pink robe again, lol. That robe was a gift from my mother. The rage simmered, quiet and hot like an invisible fever. I didn't throw things. I didn't scream. I just watched, learned, noted every detail. He was good, meticulous. He deleted their texts off. His main phone, and used the secret one only during workouts, bathroom breaks, late nights in the garage. The man I thought I knew, the man I built a life with, had layers I hadn't even begun to peel back. But I was done peeling. I made copies. I took screenshots. I forwarded the messages and photos and videos to my email. Every disgusting word. Every filthy lie. I cataloged them like evidence in a courtroom because I knew deep down that there was no saving this. No counseling. No, we can fix it. He hadn't just betrayed me. He'd mocked me, dragged me through the mud, and smiled while doing. It's so I planned. It was almost poetic, really. Our 10-year anniversary was approaching. We were supposed to go to a nice restaurant. He even made reservations himself, smug and confident in the lie. I played along, bought a new dress, booked a hair appointment, let him believe I was still the same naive, doting wife. but behind the scenes, I had already spoken to a divorce lawyer, quietly moved some money from our joint account, changed my passwords, removed him from my emergency contacts. I was cutting the cord strand by strand, and he didn't even flinch. The morning of our anniversary, I woke up before him, made him breakfast, let him kiss me on the cheek and say, "You still take my breath away, babe." I smiled and whispered, "You too." It was the last lie I told him. That evening, I got dressed in that red satin dress he used to love. I curled my hair, wore the perfume he said, drove him crazy, and walked downstairs like nothing was wrong. He looked at me like I was a prize he'd already won. "You look beautiful," said. "Thank you," I replied. Voice even in the car, he hummed to our favorite playlist, tapping the steering wheel like the world belonged to him. I just watched him. 10 years. 10 damn years. Like I gave him everything. My youth, my body, my loyalty, my forgiveness for every small mistake and every missed date. I stood by him when he got laid off, nursed him through the flu, cried with him when his father died, and he repaid me with Alina when we walked. Into the restaurant, I saw the host smile at us warmly. "Happy anniversary," he said. "Your private room is ready. Perfect." I followed Nathan in, our fingers loosely intertwined. I imagined what it would look like from the outside. This perfect couple, still in love after a decade. We sat down. The room was cozy, candlelit, poured the wine, made a toast to many more years, clinked my glass and sipped my throat, burning. Then I stood up. "Where are you going?" he asked, confused. I smiled. "Just need to grab something." I stepped outside and returned moments later with a small gift bag. "For you," I said, placing it on the table. He grinned like a child. "You didn't have to open it." He reached in, chuckling, expecting something romantic. Instead, he pulled out a small black rectangle, his secret phone. I watched his face freeze. His hand stopped moving. His smile fell in slow motion, like a building crumbling under its own weight. He looked up at me. Did you?" "I found it last week," I said calmly. "In your joggers." He swallowed. His face paled. "Natalie can explain." I raised my hand. "No, you can't." He opened his mouth again, but I was faster. "There's a flash drive taped to the bottom of the box. It has everything. Every message, every photo, every video. I emailed them to myself too. You know, just in case. Natalie, please." "Don't," I said, my voice breaking for the first time. "Don't beg now. You didn't beg when you were inside her. You didn't beg when you told her you wished I would leave you." He blinked. Rapidly, mouth trembling. "It was a mistake. I was stupid. It didn't mean anything." I laughed, short and sharp. "You told her you loved her. She said it first." My heart shattered a little more. That was his defense? She said it first? I stood, tears burning but not falling. "Not yet. I loved you, Nathan. I gave you everything, and you gave me lies." I reached for my hand. "We can fix this." I'll cut her off. "We'll go to therapy." I stepped back. "No, you're not coming home with me tonight. In fact, you won't be coming home at all." His face twisted. "You're throwing 10 years away, just like that?" I said quietly. "Did that? When you brought her into our bed? You lied with that same mouth you kissed me with? You destroyed it. I'm just cleaning up the mess." He stared at me like he didn't recognize the woman standing in front of him. Good, because I didn't recognize her either. I walked out of the restaurant, heels clicking like punctuation marks against marble. I didn't cry until I was in the Uber. Not because I regretted it, but because I was grieving. I was grieving the man I thought I knew. The life I thought I had, the woman I used to be. By the time I got home, I had already blocked his number. Called the locksmith, canceled his access to our shared bank accounts. He tried calling through WhatsApp, then email, and from another number. I didn't answer. I didn't owe him anything anymore. I lay in bed that night, the silence deafening, the sheets cold and untouched. And for the first time, I allowed myself to cry freely, loudly. I cried for every broken promise. For every night he came home from her and kissed me like I was enough. For every second I felt stupid, blind, less. Then, but beneath the heartbreak, something else flickered. Relief, because now I knew. And there was power in knowing. People say heartbreak feels like drowning, like falling off a cliff. But they don't talk about what comes after the emptiness.
Oh.
The silence. The stillness that lingers once the storm is over. The morning after I exposed Nathan, I woke up too. Birds chirping and a beam of sun stretching across the bed like nothing had changed. But everything had. The bed felt bigger, colder. The room was quiet, too quiet without his snoring, without the shuffle of him getting dressed in the dark, or his half-asleep muttering as he looked for his socks. I used to find it annoying.
Oh.
I missed it and hated myself for that. It's strange how grief can coexist with clarity. I wasn't sad that Nathan was gone. I was sad that I had ever loved him, that I had trusted him so completely, that I had once believed our life, however messy and ordinary, was real. The first week was the hardest. He texted, he called, he emailed. He left a letter in the mailbox. Classic Nathan, he never gave up until he'd exhausted every option. But this wasn't a job pitch. This wasn't a negotiation. This was me, a woman he shattered, and wanted to tape back together with apologies and empty promises. Natalie, please. I was stupid. It meant nothing. Can we talk? You're still my best friend. I love you. Love that word. Felt so dirty now, contaminated. Like something he had said too many times to too many people. Maybe he thought he loved me. Or maybe he just loved the version of me that made his life easier. But he didn't love the real me. Because if he had, wouldn't have needed someone else. I didn't respond to a single message. Not out of pettiness, but because I was done. Done explaining, done crying, done playing the role of the woman who waits around, hoping her husband grows a conscience. I started taking long walks after work. No destination, just my legs moving beneath me and the wind on my face. I needed to feel alive again, like a person outside of the roles I used to fill. Wife, hostess, homemaker, peacekeeper. Sometimes I'd pass couples on the sidewalk, laughing, holding hands, and something inside me would twist. Not jealousy. Not bitterness, just loss. Loss of innocence. Of belief. Of the sweet, quiet faith that love could be enough. I told my parents after the second week. I had avoided it for as long as I could. Worried about disappointing them. Worried about the inevitable. Are you sure? Or maybe he made a mistake. But my mother surprised me. She listened. Carefully. Quietly. And when I finally broke. Down. Choking on my words as I told her about the secret phone. The photos. The woman with the kiss emoji. My mom wrapped me in her arms and whispered, "You don't deserve that." You never did. Broke something open in me. The dam of shame, the fear that I was somehow to blame, began to crack. Because that's the thing nobody tells you about betrayal. You start asking what you did wrong. Was I not enough? Too emotional? Too boring? Too distracted? But no. That was his failure, not mine. And slowly, painfully, I began to believe that. The divorce proceedings started in the third week. My lawyer was sharp, calm, and ruthless in a quiet way I deeply respected. She said I was doing the right thing, that she'd seen this before. "You're not the first," she said, "but I promise you'll come out stronger." I wanted to believe her. Some nights I still cried, not for him but for the version of me who thought forever was real, who thought love meant safety. I packed up his things a little at a time. His shirt still smelled like him. His books still had little notes in the margins, little traces of the man I thought I married. But I boxed them anyway, one by one, till the closet was mine again. There was a strange peace in reclaiming space. I changed the bed sheets, bought new towels, rearranged the living room. Not big changes. Just little shifts to remind myself that this home was mine now, that I wasn't just surviving, I was starting over. I blocked Alina too. She tried to reach out once through a fake Instagram account. It's just a single message. "You should have taken better care of him." I didn't reply, because the truth was, I did take care of him. I nurtured him, loved him, believed in him. I gave him more grace than he ever earned. And if she thought she'd won some kind of prize, I pitied her. Because the man who cheats with you will eventually cheat on you. Oh, it's not karma, it's character. A month passed. Then 2. Nathan finally stopped contacting me, probably realizing that silence was the only answer I had left. His sister messaged me once, asking what had happened, saying she was heartbroken for me. I told her the truth. I didn't sugarcoat it. She cried on the phone and said she was ashamed of her brother, but I didn't need validation. I wasn't angry anymore. Just tired, but healing too. One day I found myself laughing, really laughing with a coworker at lunch, and it startled me, like hearing a sound you forgot you could make. That laugh didn't come from a broken place. It came from me. The me I used to be, before betrayal bent my spine. I started journaling again, reading poetry, painting in the garage with old supplies I hadn't touched in years. I even reconnected with my college roommate for coffee. She hugged me so tight, I nearly cried on the sidewalk. "You're still in there," she said, "even if you don't feel like it yet." She was right. Day by day, I found pieces of myself again. Some were old, some were new. But all of them were mine, and I realized I had been so afraid of being alone, so terrified of starting over. But what I didn't see then and what I know now is this. Being alone isn't the worst thing. Being unloved while pretending to be loved. That's the real tragedy. Now I go to sleep without anxiety. I don't check anyone's location. I don't worry about secret phones or whispers behind doors. I wake up to peace, stillness, and my own heartbeat steady in mine. Someday maybe I'll trust again. Maybe I'll fall in love. Maybe not. Either way, I'll be okay, because I found the truth when I found that phone. And yeah, my marriage fell apart, but I didn't. I rose, even from the ruins.